What is up, everybody? This is Fat Guy Sports Talk. As always, I am Aaron, joined by.
Tyler.
I'm Grant.
All right, TJ might be joining us a little later. He's kind of AWOL, MIA at the moment, so hopefully he gets on with us. Otherwise, we might see him next week. But we're just gonna hop right into things. We are getting closer and closer to another sport coming back with football. So we're gonna start off tonight. Uh, Big news here, the NBA draft took place a couple nights ago, and I think it's time we discuss that and some free agencies that are going around. Or let me rephrase that. Some of the big news in free agency that's been going on as well. So, um, Tyler, I know me and you had discussed before this. We were hoping for a lot of moves and deals. There were lots of talks of trading up, trading down, swapping picks, all that fun stuff. Nothing happened really, and that was kind of
It was
disappointing.
it was kind of boring, honestly.
Yeah,
Looking at the way the free agency market, everything like that was supposed to be going, you hear all this news stuff's gonna be going on, but it's just nothing.
yeah. Nothing in the lottery picks switched place, which was shocking. You usually expect to see at least one team, move out, trade in, trade up, whatever. But
I
yeah,
don't I don't know the last time I've seen it where a lottery pick didn't get switched around somewhere along the line.
yeah, everything happened in the later picks, later end of the draft. But we'll recap for anybody that didn't see. We'll go with top 5 picks here for you. Minnesota took Anthony Edwards out of Georgia, number 1 overall. James Wiseman from Memphis went second to Golden State. Uh, Big name here, LaMelo Ball went to Charlotte with number 3. The Bulls, we'll discuss this here more in a minute. They took a surprise here and took Patrick Williams from Florida State. And then Cleveland took Auburn's Isaac Okoro at number 5. Um, I was kind of shocked to see LaMelo Ball slip to 3. I mean, it's not that much of a slip, but
He didn't really slip. You kind of saw it coming when you saw the news that Michael Jordan's coming out saying he's okaying the Hornets to draft LaMelo Ball. That was news the day before the draft. So you kind of saw the writing was on the wall that LaMelo's been talked to go to the Hornets.
yeah. I do think Golden State might be kicking themselves now that they have lost Klay Thompson for yet another year after not taking him at number 2. But I think they do need big help in the middle there, and James Wiseman is going to provide that for him.
I think Wiseman's the best fit. I think he's probably the best fit out of the top 5 picks. Bringing Wiseman in there just because they need a big man so badly. They still have Steph that can shoot. You got Draymond for the mid range. He can do everything there. I
Yeah,
think Wiseman's gonna be a beautiful pickup for them. I mean, they still have Wiggins. They drafted Nico. What's his face?
Nico Mannion. They drafted him in the 2nd round, so he'll be a project. I think I'm really surprised he fell that far, but I think that's a good place for him to go learn under. But yeah, he's gonna come in and be what they wanted DeMarcus Cousins to be, I think.
Yeah.
And somebody that's not too injury prone. The only problem is he hasn't played organized basketball in over a year. If you guys remember, he was the guy at Memphis who played like 3 games, and then, I forget what happened, but he had a lot of issues off the court that he just didn't play the rest of the year for him. So it's been a long time since he's actually played in a organized game. So, but seeing as the Bulls are my team, Patrick Williams, this was a shocker. I at that point in the draft, I really hoped they would have taken Denny Avdija from Israel, and Obi Toppin was still there too. But they took Patrick Williams, a guy who came off the bench at Florida State. He was not even a starter there. He averaged 9 points a game. But what a lot of people are saying, he has a very high ceiling. And I'm not going to discredit this pick too much because this is an entirely new organization, front office that's running this now. And I would like to give them benefit of the doubt and see what they can do with this. If they can develop him, I feel like Karnisovas knows what he's doing. So I feel like they have a plan for this guy. If they're that high on him to draft him at that pick, I feel like there's big things in store for him. So a little surprising, but at the same time, I'm gonna give it a chance. But if that doesn't pan out, they've got some major answering to do.
Yeah, I mean, with the draft here, I liked what the Bulls did, honestly, just because it's different. I always like a high lottery pick that's kind of not for the norm, just because it's fun. It's fun for
Mhm.
me.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say you like
As
that
a
just for the
ma-
entertainment
yeah,
value, not necessarily the
exactly.
like one of them should do
I
this
love to
to
see
get a
the
ring.
ones. I like to see it if they do pan out.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
but that's also
I'll
everybody in the
say,
draft too. At the same time, like
but
it,
when you see someone that shouldn't be there,
yeah,
it's more interesting to me
I got
because that
you.
means someone saw something in them.
Yeah,
It's more of a shocker to me because I had heard so many stories that morning, that whole day, that Bulls are looking to trade Wendell Carter to move up, or they thought Otto Porter and Thad Young were going to be out the door and they were going to trade, down or something for that. And I told you some of my ideas, Tyler, for that too. But like, I if they just couldn't get a deal done, I don't know. But
There was
hopefully,
talks of the Bulls moving. There was talks of the Pistons moving.
mhm,
I mean, everyone. There was lots of talks, but nothing happened. I don't know if something didn't pan out or if it was just all smoke and mirrors.
yeah, I'm trying to
I mean,
see where like I guess it doesn't tell me here, but like yeah, we didn't get moves until the the 20s. I feel like the Bucks didn't even get a draft pick necessarily. They did take R.J. Hampton, but those were traded to Denver, correct?
yes,
Mhm.
Hampton did go, not Denver, New
I thought it
Orleans.
was Denver. Was it New Orleans? I thought it was Denver.
Did did Denver get? Maybe Denver. I can double check, but
was
the
he
Bucks
part
did
of
get a
the
draft pick
Drew
because
Holiday?
they did trade. Yes, Drew
Okay,
Holiday one.
Mm.
yeah, that's
The Bucks did get a draft pick because they traded with the Magic two future second rounders for a second rounder this year, and they got the number 45 pick of Jordan Noira from
Noara,
Louisville.
which if you ask me, he's a scorer. If they can develop him and he can become part of that team, that's a decent, very good late round pick for them.
There's a lot of talks that he slipped. He shouldn't have gone that late in the draft. He's got a lot of talent. I remember watching him in Louisville, and he has a lot of talent there. It's just, can we get him to where he should be?
Right.
And if we can get him where he should be, it's going to be another late round gem like Malcolm Brogdon was.
Yep. Um, but a couple other surprising picks that slipped, and I think it's going to end up being the steal of the draft. I mentioned him last week. Cassius Stanley. Sorry, not Cassius Stanley. Cassius Winston. Um, went to OKC where they just got rid of Chris Paul, and they're gonna need a point guard there. I really hope he can develop there. He was fucking 7 picks away from not being drafted for somebody that last week was a projected first round pick. That's a steal, if you
Oh yeah,
ask me.
but I mean, once again, there's a reason that he fell though. Like,
Right, there is, but Michigan State, like Tom Izzo knows how to coach those boys. Like there's talent there. There's talent there. So, um, but
and
I'm just noticing this right now, taking 1 pick right before him, Kenyon Martin Jr. Do you guys remember Kenyon Martin?
yep,
Yeah,
I saw that.
yeah. So he's going to the Kings, and then trying to see if there's any other late round ones that surprised me. Not really.
One pick that slid, it wasn't as large of a slid, but Cole Anthony sliding number 15, going to the Magic. I think he had
Um,
talent enough to go closer to top 10.
hang on a second
Uh,
here. Yep, to the Magic.
Cole
Okay.
Anthony, UNC.
Yeah. Yep. I
Yep.
thought for some reason I thought I saw him in Portland.
Honestly, I think
Portland
no.
picked right after him.
Portland picked right after him.
Yep.
Yep. He had a lot. You'll remember him if I'm correct. Was he in the championship game with them?
Cole Anthony, yeah, yes, maybe.
Yeah, you'll
No,
remember because I want to say he was one of the ones. No, was he?
I don't
No, he
think
wasn't.
so. No.
Where did he
God, we
go?
should be better at this. This is our job.
He went to Orlando. I think it's a good spot for him.
No,
Good,
what
good young
school did he go
team.
to?
Oh, North
Oh,
Carolina.
UNC, North
His
Carolina.
draft stock slipped though because North Carolina was terrible last year. They just did not live up to expectations. They did not. I think that's why his stock slipped a little bit. Um, but one of the other good picks that I think will pan out fairly well is Brooklyn took Sadiq Bey out of Villanova. That's a team that you already have star power there with Durant and Kyrie. Not to mention a good young core, with Jared Allen and Spencer Dinwiddie. So I think that's a good landing spot for him to come in and learn.
As well as the talks of them trying to get Harden.
Yeah. Then we could have another super team brewing over there in Brooklyn. So that is another team to look out for. So speaking of wrapping up draft talk here, what has been going on in free agency, Tyler? I know you had a lot of moves and stuff to talk about.
So I had a lot of moves. I had a lot of good moves. And then the NBA decides to shit on my dreams. And I don't like that. The Bucks were in talks of trading.
Well, the one trade that did go through, let's start off with that one.
Yeah, that's the one I'm going for. We did get Drew Holiday from New Orleans. And at first I thought it was we paid too much for him.
I
But
still
then I
think you did.
realized, well, think about this though. We're already a team that's near championship, so we're always going to have the later round draft picks, the higher first round picks, which are early second round. Okay. You would give 3 second round picks to New Orleans. Why not 3 late first round picks? I mean, and there's 2 pick swaps in there as well.
What
So we will be
included
able to use,
in that?
I didn't, I'll say,
What beats me up
is
is
Eric
that,
Bledsoe and George Hill.
yeah, you're giving up, Eric Bledsoe was your starting point guard, which I think Drew Holiday comes in and gives you better defense right off the bat.
I think Drew Holiday comes in at a better number 2, and they run Giannis out the point.
That'd be stupid. That'd be really stupid of him. But
They don't have a point there yet
it's
because Drew is not a
be
point.
Drew. It'll be him. Trust me. It's stupid of them for them to run Giannis at the point guard just because of what
It
he can
is,
do
yes, but
elsewhere
they
around
don't
the
have a
floor.
point now.
I think it will be Drew Holiday though. But
But it
off
might
that
not be right now.
coming
Thinking of the other trade that didn't go through.
yeah. But coming off that,
We were
I still
supposed to
think
get
including 3 picks in that trade with Bledsoe and Hill. It was 3 picks, right?
yes.
I think maybe one of them. And dropping out. Who was the other player they got? They got Drew Holiday and who else?
Just
Some
Drew
other.
Holiday out of that one.
I thought they got some garbage player.
No, that was the other
Oh,
trade. No, we were supposed to get
okay.
Justin James.
Oh, okay. So yeah, the other trade though that did not go through because somebody's a little bitch.
Well, even before that though, with the Drew Holiday, there are talks George Hill might get bought out and re-sign with the Bucks.
Which you would probably need because they lost Wes Matthews today too.
Yep, Wes Matthews signed with the Lakers today.
Yeah.
So, but no, the other trade that we're talking about, Bogdan Bogdanovic and Justin James was supposed to go to the Bucks for Dante DiVincenzo, Ersan Ilyasova, and DJ Wilson. That trade went up in flames, and now both teams are being talked to and looked at, investigated for tampering because someone bitched out on one of the sides.
Mm.
And now it's definitely not going to go through because the Bucks have released Ersan.
Mm.
So he is no longer with the Bucks. Thanks
Which
for the
is,
years.
yeah, which is kind of sad. I always enjoyed watching him.
So did
But
I. He's the
how many
Turkish
times
delight.
how many times have the Bucks gotten rid of Ilyasova and then he
he
ends
had
up back on the
3.
team? Like
He
we're
had
not done with him.
Yeah, he had 3 stints there. He'll be back.
Yeah,
But you just reminded me. I totally forgot about him. Dante is going to be your point guard as of right now.
Right. He wasn't going to be because he was supposed to be in that trade, and that would have
Mhm.
moved Drew to the point. But now that the trade didn't go through, if they don't trade Dante to anyone, or if nothing like that happens, Dante will be the point. Drew will be a shooting guard here.
Yeah,
Um,
which I think
now
that's a decent backcourt. I'm still surprised as to why they have not tried to move Middleton. I He has the value there, and you can get something for him in return. He's not. I'm sorry, he's just not panning out to be.
he's not what it should be.
No,
Um,
Bogdanovich could have been that,
looking,
but
he should have been that, but
with him and Middleton there, though, who are you starting? Who's coming off the bench? How are you filling those 2 spots, though? If Bogdanovich had come
yeah,
over, you know what I'm saying?
right. No, I'm interested to see what the team's gonna do now that Dante and DJ both know they're supposed to be on the trading block. They're supposed to be on different teams, and now they weren't. I want to know if that's going to ruin some chemistry.
I
Um,
I mean,
I
it could, but I mean, you
hopefully
gotta
it doesn't. Hopefully they know it's a business and things
right.
like this happen. But
I think as
now looking,
players of their caliber, you have to realize that like nothing is guaranteed. My position is not
true,
guaranteed. I have value. I could
being
be traded at any point in time.
being not a superstar, they're not guaranteed to be on any team. So they should know that.
Yeah.
Looking at other trades all across the league, not just focusing on ours, just the bigger ones. Robert Covington is going to Portland, and
Mhm.
Houston is giving Trevor Ariza back. So they're doing a swap there. Let's see here. The Lakers are getting Dennis Schroeder, and the Clippers are getting Danny Green. And now
The
there's talks of
Clippers, what did the Clippers gave up so much for Danny Green, and I did not understand that, right?
the Clippers. You mean the Thunder?
Thunder did, sorry, yeah. The
Yeah,
Clippers
yeah.
are getting, yeah, the Thunder gave up a lot for him.
They gave up. Yeah, they didn't really give up anything. They gave up Dennis Schroeder. The Thunder got Danny Green and a first round pick for Dennis Schroeder.
Where did I see that? I saw somewhere that Danny Green got traded for like 3 picks and a
Oh, that's
player or
right.
something.
That
Yeah,
Danny Green did this. I wrote this down the other day.
yeah,
Danny Green did get traded. Where did he get traded to, though?
yeah,
Um, while I'm looking this up here,
yeah.
the
The
other one to
other,
look at is Chris Paul.
yeah, that was the big one. And
Yep, Phoenix getting Chris Paul, and OKC got Kelly Oubre Jr., Ricky Rubio, Ty
which
Jerome, Jay Lee. Yeah, and
Kelly
Kelly Oubre
Oubre,
Jr. is now on the Warriors.
yep, he just got moved to Golden State, so he's getting bounced around. Which strange to see such a young. I was shocked to see Phoenix get rid of him. He was one of their
I
good
like
young
him.
players. Yeah,
I'll say I like him a lot, and seeing him bounce around, it's really confusing to me just to see
yeah.
what's going on right now. The other big news is Gordon Hayward. He opted out of a $34 million guaranteed contract with the Celtics to become a unrestricted free agent.
I
Something is
I
going on where he wants out.
I could see it. I mean, he has not been as integral part of the team as he was expected to be.
That injury really messed
It
things up.
really messed him up, and they have proven that they have filled, the spot that was missed with him with a lot of good young talent. Um, Clearly, Jason Tatum is the new star there, and then Kemba I thought was going to be moved. He's staying there. You still have Jalen Brown. Brad Wanamaker provides a good spot off the bench. There's really not much for Gordon Hayward to fill there. And if he can find, if he can get paid somewhere else and fit in way better with another team, I'm all for it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I thought Brad Stevens, his college coach, would have been enough to keep him there, but I mean, you got to go with the hot hand, and right now it's Tatum, uh, and I think it's a smart move on Gordon Hayward. Yes, people are going to look at him as to like, well, how strong are his legs after that injury? Just give him the chance, like,
He
yeah.
looked okay in the playoffs. He
Hmm.
really did. Like, give him a shot.
Yeah.
Hayward still got it, I think, and it'd be nice to see him go to another contender.
I would love to see him go back to Indiana.
That's where I think he wants to go, is go back to Indiana.
Yeah, that would be great. So,
Other big news, not really trading, but just contract signing wise. De'Aaron Fox did sign a max deal for 163 million, 5 years.
for some fucking reason,
So,
they're paying
what-
him that much, which,
like you said, Aaron, they're building around him. So,
which
don't know.
isn't a bad thing, but I don't think he's proven himself to be paid that much just yet.
No.
If you want to build around him, then, pay him the money. But a couple other notes about basketball here with after the De'Aaron Fox thing. Goran Dragic re-signed in Miami. Tyler, I know you wanted him to come to Milwaukee. I think his career is ending in Miami.
I think it would have been nice, but yeah. It's
Yeah.
definitely ending Miami. Derek Favors signed a 3-year deal with the Jazz. I think he's going to be staying there. Just
like I said
he's
before,
getting
the
older
Jazz.
also. The
I
Jazz
made
are
the
trying to
point.
stay with what they have.
Yeah, they're consistently going to be that 4 or 5 seed. Like I said before, they don't do anything to make him exceptionally better, but they don't do anything to make him exceptionally worse. But where did Rubio go? He was part of that Phoenix deal. Is he back?
Went to the Thunder. Yeah.
He isn't Thunder. Okay, so
Yep.
that dude is somebody that has fallen off.
Yeah, for being such a stud in Minnesota, he kind of turned into a journeyman.
Yeah, so
That's
think
pretty
that's
much it for the NBA for right now.
Yeah, their season's going to be starting here soon.
Yeah,
but
I'll say December
just over a
22nd.
month. Yeah, just over a month. That's
just
crazy.
over a month.
So excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it since our last episode. Like one of you guys mentioned, like some of the teams, it's gonna be almost a full year since they played.
Yeah.
And then some of them are gonna be 2
But
months. Like
I do want to discuss how that season's going to play out because it's going to be so fun. There isn't going to be an All-Star game, but they're going to get an All-Star break. But the season's going to end. When is it? At the end of April or the beginning of May, and they're doing a play-in tournament for the last few seeds of the playoffs.
Last 2 seasons, I believe.
Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun because we all know. I mean, granted, it's going to probably be all for naught because how often do the 7, 8 seeds do anything?
Well,
But
this last year,
a lot of fun.
The Suns, I think, if they would have got in, I think the Suns would have done some goddamn damage.
Oh yeah,
fucking undefeated.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun just to watch. Just some hard-fought basketball guys that are want to keep playing. Guys that don't normally get that exposure, guys that are on like the Magic or the Cavaliers if they're up there, or the Pistons even. If those teams are in it, it's going to be so much fun to watch all that young talent. So I can't wait for that. And then we're going to get the playoffs after that. So finals are wrapping up in late July, August. So
yeah, July, I believe.
So, and then also one note, Toronto will be playing their home games in Tampa.
Yeah. The Canadian government didn't give them permission to play.
Which, honestly, I don't know how long before they're the only team to be outside the U.S. Like, I think
either we're going to add more teams outside the U.S. or we're going to bring them into the U.S.
It's what should happen.
We're going to make a move out of Toronto.
Or send the Grizzlies back to Vancouver, one or the other.
Yeah.
Like,
Memphis doesn't need a basketball team.
Yeah. It is a good basketball town, though, Memphis is. So I think they'll stick around there. But, I mean, if Toronto,
we need someone in Seattle. Move Toronto to Seattle.
Move Toronto back to Seattle. That would be great. That is a great idea. So
you heard it here first, folks.
But, yeah, I think we're going to bring TJ in here, and then we're going to talk some football. So seeing as he wants to join us now. So
yeah, I didn't realize sitting out NBA was an option. Like, obviously you can tell I was fucking silent.
You're not out of it. You're too tall. You have to be in it.
Yep.
What?
Yeah. All right.
Stop being tall.
How? All right, first off, how does one do that? And actually, I know exactly what you're going to say. It's going to involve
cut out your kneecaps.
Yeah.
Yep. You can get your shins blown off in Korea, like Cotton Hill.
Yep. I was like Cotton Hill.
I killed 50 men.
Shin's blown off in Nam.
Let's
All
talk some football. Maybe that'll
yeah, let's talk some football. All right, let's move on to football. Let's well, first off, let's welcome in TJ. Thanks for joining us. Finally.
You're welcome. I figured I would grace you with
For
my
damn
presence.
ever.
Yeah.
It's been like, I don't know, what has it been? One episode I've missed, plus like the basketball part because that's not a sport. I'm kidding. I just really sucked at paying attention to basketball this year. There was too much going on with it. I wasn't that interested.
All right, so we are going to talk football, but we are going to change up how we do things here. So we're going to actually be starting to release episodes probably on Saturdays now. So we're actually going to be previewing upcoming games rather than discussing recaps. I mean, we can still talk about a little bit about what happened, but more so looking forward. So you can have something to watch or listen to before Sunday and Monday's game. So with that being said, I'm just happy that I don't have to watch terrible football this weekend. The Bears are on a bye, so I don't even need to really talk about them.
I really hope the game in the market when the Bears would play was like the Jets. So he's stuck.
Dude, I still think that if the Bears did play the Jets at some point this year, the Jets would have a really good chance at winning.
Don't say that because I really want this Jets team to go 0-16.
Oh, me too. Me too. But yeah, like
I just do not believe Megatron should be on the only 0-16 team.
that's true.
Well, they're not. The Browns just went 0-16.
No, they
Yeah.
did not.
Yeah, they did.
They went 1-15.
Yeah, they did.
No, they went on
They were
16.
Fucking when?
2 years ago?
Yeah.
They went
2018.
1-15, then they went 0-16.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was super quiet. Like
Yeah,
They went 1-32.
Wasn't that Mike
Where the
Pettin's
fuck
team?
was I?
Wasn't that Mike Pettin's team? That was Mike Pettin's team, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah.
no. Mike Penton's team went
No, Mike Pettin's team was the one
8-6.
team, wasn't it?
No.
Confused.
It was
Brandon is this that I got this wrong.
I can't remember what his name was.
That Freddie Kitchens's?
No, before Freddie Kitchens.
Which I thought it was Mike Patton.
Hugh.
It was Hugh Jackson.
Hugh
That's
Jackson,
right.
that's
Yeah.
right.
They stole
Yes.
him from the Bengals because he was this hot offensive coordinator that
Yeah.
made Andy Dalton into a genius.
Then he
And
went
then he
1
shit
and
the
35.
bed. That was the Jimmy
Hell of a record.
the Manziel year, wasn't it?
One
Yeah.
of them probably was, yeah.
Hold on, I'm pulling up this team because I got to look at this roster, man.
Oh, it was.
No, I thought Manziel was the
Wow.
first after.
I want to point out
Or was
that
that
the
Bateman?
number one receiver on this team, who can guess the number one receiver on the 2017 undefeated Cleveland Browns right now?
Corey Coleman.
No.
Yeah.
Hawkins?
No. Remember, Corey Coleman got injured like week 1 or 2.
Oh, yeah. Rashard
Terrell
Jacobs.
Pryor, former quarterback.
Oh
of the
my
Ohio
God.
State Buckeyes.
Dude, that was the year
That's right.
I flipped him.
Right.
I flipped him for Carson Wentz the year the Eagles went to the Super Bowl in fantasy football. I had Terrell Pryor and I flipped him for Carson Wentz.
Wait, no, maybe that was the year Coleman was there because Coleman, I remember that rookie year, of Coleman. Like, I thought he was going to be good because him and Pryor were putting up good numbers.
Yeah.
So I thought Terrell Pryor was going to be great.
Horrible in Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he went to Washington. I was like, finally, like Terrell Pryor's going to get a chance to shine. And then he just.
He should come back to Washington. He could fucking help out any team in the NFC East.
Terrell Pryor? At what?
Anyone can help
position?
out.
Yeah,
Oh.
and that's just my point. Is like anybody.
I'm sorry.
can help
I'd
out
rather
any
start
teams.
Garrett Gilbert than I would rather than have Terrell Pryor start a quarterback.
I didn't say necessarily quarterback. You know, it could be
I don't see
receiver.
But
The only team that I think he could really help out in the NFC East at wide receiver would be
Philly
Philly, maybe.
or the Giants.
the Giants don't really have anyone.
I mean, they have Sterling Shepard, that young guy that got. He's been
Well,
doing pretty-
Slayton's
Slayton,
still there. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jerry Slayton.
Slayton's been
Yeah.
doing good,
Yeah.
but I mean, good for them. I kind of feel like I'm stuck in this world where I'm watching Terrell Pryor again because now that you mention him, I'm like, wow, Darius Slayton is very much like him. He's a young guy, seems like he could have a really high ceiling, but he's also playing on a trash football team. So he could go to like a team that needs him and just be second or third. I'm pulling up the Cleveland Browns depth chart since you got me down.
While you're pulling up the Browns,
Yeah.
we talk about this coming up game of the Browns Eagles,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Eagles Browns.
which is good. Is it gonna show that the Browns are a real deal team, making them go 7-3, or is it the Eagles?
Real deal
Or the
team.
Eagles gonna take over that division at 4
4,
wins?
5, 4, 5,
So
and 1.
I don't think it doesn't matter if Cleveland wins this game or it does matter if they lose this game. But winning this game, I don't think elevates them into any new category.
It
because
elevates them
this is
into wild card talks, though.
No,
for play.
and I get that, but I mean, as far as if you're looking as is this team a real threat?
Oh
I
no,
don't think you
no,
get
no,
an answer
no.
out of this game. I think
Yeah.
Cleveland or Philly's bad,
Which
but
Cleveland
Philly
should
also
win
pulls
this
out
game.
really good games.
it's interesting you bring that up because I know me and Grant were discussing this. We were playing Madden earlier this week. And it kind of dawned on me, and I think a lot of people are talking about it. How big of a threat? Fuck you, Grant. We'll get a rematch in there. Yeah, you beat me
Yeah,
twice. Yeah,
I did go
Anyways.
2-0, bitch.
yeah. But
Weren't you talking shit about how good you were at Madden too?
me? No,
No.
I'm
Or is
better
that
than Tyler. But
No, I am not
Tyler
good.
said he sucked.
but anyways, actually the team I almost came back and beat you with the second time. Are they as dangerous as we think they are? The Pittsburgh Steelers. They are 9-0, but take a look at who they've beat, and then take a look at who they play coming up.
Mhm.
Is this a team that's going to be a threat in the playoffs, or are they just very, very overrated and lucky to be 9-0?
I mean, well, and I was telling you, Aaron, that like I really think it's going to be one of the trap games that's going to knock them off. So
Like
this coming
playing
week,
Jacksonville this week? Yeah.
yeah, just next week they're against the Ravens. I mean,
Mhm.
Jacksonville, like I don't know
As a
what the
Packer fan, we can
Packers-
say Jacksonville is probably the best 1-9 team you'll see.
Yeah,
Well,
Jake
yeah,
Luton
but-
is stepping in for Minshew pretty nice. He's actually got a good control of that offense. I would
Mhm.
not put it past them, to maybe upset the Steelers here. The Steelers, they had unfortunate of having their bye week in week 4, so they have to play all the
Mhm.
way through. They'll probably get that number 1 seed, assuming, it's tough because Kansas City only has 1 loss right now too, so that number 1 seed is not solidified for them too. If
Yeah.
they don't get a bye, that's going to be tough for them. But do you see them if they were to meet the Chiefs in the playoffs?
So here's the thing, right? If you're looking at this and you're looking at the Steelers schedule, I don't see them losing to Jacksonville, even if you consider it being a trap game, which I think the Steelers learned. I mean, the Eagles almost beat them.
Dallas almost beat them too.
Dallas almost beat
Yeah.
them. I don't think they're looking at Jacksonville at this point. Then they play the Ravens, who didn't they beat Baltimore earlier?
Yep, they beat
Yeah.
them already.
Yeah, they beat them. Then they play the Redskins. I don't see there being any threat there.
The Washington
the Bills
football
could
team.
could be tough because the Bills are very kind of hit or miss lately. Like Allen's showed potential early on. I'm very underwhelmed with him the past 3 or 4 games. Then they play the Bengals. They're not going to lose to Cincy. And then they play the Colts, which is another one of those games, but because the Colts do have a great defense. Offensively, I don't think they can hang. My problem with the Steelers is that they're not even playing that great of football right now.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense is playing very good, but they're not taking they're taking the ball away, but they're not a defense I look at and I'm like terrified by if I can figure out their pass rush. Their pass rush wasn't really that all there last week. Offensively, Ben Roethlisberger looks old, and he is, but he looks older than he is. And there was a play he did where he scrambled out, saw his pocket collapsing, and tried to run. And I looked at that and was like, Tyler jogging would run faster than that. Like, he looks so slow. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage, and nobody was near him. And he's not playing very well. Their wide receivers are stacked. I don't think they're going to be able to keep Juju Smith-Schuster, especially when you have a guy like Claypool coming up who's been outstanding. Defensively, they could be way better than they are. And I think we haven't seen their best football yet. So if they stay hot, they're going to be damn dangerous in the playoffs because they can run the football and they can play defense.
I think what they're going to need is to lock up that playoff position as soon as possible. if they want to fight for that number 1 seed, and give Roethlisberger a rest because he's got to have a week off at some point. Throw Mason Rudolph again in when you play Cincinnati. Um, if you have the
Now,
division locked up at that point, which it's tough too because the Ravens. If we want to move on and talk about them, Lamar Jackson's been underperforming this year too, and is it the Madden curse 2.0?
Yeah, because Mahomes broke it.
I still
Yeah, he missed a game, or
he missed
what,
3 games.
3 games.
Didn't he win the Super Bowl?
He won the Super
Yeah.
Bowl, yes, but it did not come without it's
How many yards did he throw in that Super Bowl?
it's not just one game; it's the whole season. He had hiccups. He got
When you-
hurt.
We'll
Look
call
at
it like I can't really call him Madden curse because he did win the Super Bowl and was Super Bowl
Right.
MVP.
Tom Brady
And-
also won the Super Bowl too. The cover he was on it, if I'm not mistaken.
True, but Tom Brady played like shit that year.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I mean, Lamar is not playing as a reigning MVP right now, and
Tom Brady didn't play like shit, but it's the year before he threw for 50 fucking touchdown passes.
yeah. I think the Ravens' biggest issue right now is that teams have figured out that Lamar can hurt you more with his legs than his arms, and then you're starting to realize that they have nobody to throw to on that team.
Lamar Jackson's came out and said that the other team is calling out their plays
That
from
doesn't
the
matter.
defense.
That doesn't matter. Every
What I'm
team-
saying though is they're being shown, like they're being called out, like their plays are they're not secret anymore.
But here's the thing with that is you do have a good point because if you look back to when Robert Griffin III, Russell Wilson, and Colin Kaepernick first came into the league together, right?
Mhm.
They played that spread option bullshit that Lamar Jackson is running now, and they tore up the league, all fucking 3 of them. There was no question they were unstoppable. Colin Kaepernick tore up Green Bay. I'm sorry to remind Grant and Tyler of that. But
Yeah, what the hell was
I'm not.
that? That was
And then
impossible.
the next year, these teams were bringing in college defensive coordinators to teach them to stop the spread. And then what did you see? The only one who had any success after that point was Russell Wilson. Because
Because
Russell,
he can adapt.
Yeah, he's a
Because
legitimate
such an
passer too.
improviser.
which is
Yeah.
another reason I don't think Colin Kaepernick is good for the NFL. Because number one, I don't think he actually wants to play there, especially how he treated his workout. But number 2, he was not good after that first year. He was just so good that first year that people remember that year. They don't remember the year 2 or
The
year
last 2 where he was
terrible.
shit. But on speaking with the Ravens, staying on point with them, they play the Titans this week at home, a battle of 6 and 3 teams.
I got Tennessee in this game.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
same
think the
with
Ravens
Tennessee.
could win this because you don't see the Ravens play terrible twice in a row. And Tennessee's defense is not what it was last year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I don't see Baltimore's offense being able to keep pace with King Henry.
No, and not just King Henry, but Tannehill's been playing pretty damn well this year.
Tannehill is
I was
the
gonna say,
most
the way
underrated
that-
quarterback of the last decade, and I will say that with confidence.
Yeah.
I feel like the way too to beat the Ravens defense is to be balanced. They can definitely do that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, no other team is going to be as run heavy, so balance to them isn't as balanced to other teams. But
The concern I do have with Tennessee, because he just kind of said it, is that nobody runs the ball more than the Ravens. The Titans last year, I think, were number 2 on that list, where they
Yeah.
were running with Henry. And the problem I have with Tennessee, and you've seen it happen, I believe, twice this year, where one game they did win and the other they lost, where they were playing at a significant deficit because they were stuffing the run.
Mhm.
I think Tannehill is a quarterback that can bring you back in those games. I do not think they have the weapons for Tannehill to be able to bring you back in those games.
They really don't have
Davis
the
is a
weapons down
solid
there.
receiver, but who else do they have?
Corey Davis is
Tyler just said it,
underperformed.
they do not have weapons
Yeah.
outside of Henry.
Jonnu Smith got off to a hot start, but he has fizzled off. Yeah. Was it Humphreys? The other
Adam
receiver?
Humphries.
Yeah.
I remember Humphreys because he had a 180-yard, 4-touchdown game in Tampa Bay under Jameis Winston, and I grabbed him immediately off of waivers, and then he never did a fucking thing for me again.
Oh yeah. Well,
Played
if
Tyler
you want
Lee.
to throw over to Tampa Bay, that is the Monday night game this week. They got the Rams at home. What do you see
Tampa.
happening here?
We got the Rams. I think the defense is going to shut down Tampa.
I think the thing I have is that you're looking at two nasty defenses. Tampa Bay's defense is nasty. The Rams defense is nasty. I don't care if their safeties are hurt and their cornerbacks are hurt and their defensive ends are hurt and their linebackers are hurt. Aaron Donald is a nasty man. And that's going to be a very defensive game. But Tom Brady, as much shit as I gave him in our preseason episodes, he has been good this year. He's had some bad games that made him look very much like he did the first couple of weeks. But for the most part, he's played with poise. He hasn't made bad throws. He's been clutch. And Tom Brady wins on Monday nights. And Jared Goff is still Jared Goff. I do think that offense is doing better. That offense does not scare me in any way, shape, or form if I'm a defensive coordinator. But the reason they're winning games is because of that defense in Los Angeles. And it's going to be a defensive low-scoring game, I think. I think it's going to be like 22, 21, 21, 20, something like that. It's going to be low. And
it's going to be a defensive struggle.
I think it's going to throw 2 picks, 2 touchdowns.
I don't know. I mean,
if you want to speak of people eating their words, I'm going to say the next game is probably the best team in the AFC right now. I think the Dolphins game.
I was just going to hide on that. Keep in mind here before we get into discussion on this, if the Bills are on a bye this week, if the Dolphins win this game, that puts them at 7-3, equal record with the Bills. In a virtual tie. I think the Bills have the tiebreaker on that.
You remember when we said the Jets would finish higher than the Patriots, by the way? Now that we're talking about AFC East, I'm sorry to bring that up, but that just made me laugh.
But y'all, I mentioned this 2 weeks ago when I said, do the Dolphins make the playoffs?
Yes.
They are right now the hottest team in the AFC.
Yeah,
I said it when they brought Tua in. I said it was too soon. I said they were being dumb. I wrote them off. I'm eating my words.
Mm-hmm.
I think the best team in the AFC is the Dolphins.
Right now.
Right now is what counts. What happens earlier in the season doesn't count.
That's true.
Right now counts. They're the best team in the AFC.
Week 2, no, of course not. The Dolphins were
now,
shit in week 2.
You have to include right now because you can't say they're the best team in the AFC when they've lost 3 games. That obviously goes to Pittsburgh. Whether or not
he's saying that the Dolphins are the hottest team in the NFL.
Right. Yes. Oh, I completely agree with that. It could win that division.
You can put the Chiefs up there, but the Chiefs are just good. I think when you say hottest team, you have to look at a team that you don't look at being good. And here's my only counter to the Dolphins being that great. They're not really running great football. Yeah, they did run 85 yards with Ahmed last week and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Tua's he's not been overly impressive. I mean, he has kept he's kept the interceptions down, which is great. He's thrown touchdowns when he's needed to. They're being efficient on 3rd down and in the red zone. Like, those are all good things. And I'm not saying Tua is a bad quarterback. He just hasn't jumped off the page to me like Justin Herbert has or, Joe Burrow has. And keep in mind, with that said, too, I know Tagovailoa also outperformed Herbert this last week. But I need to see him put up some yards for me really to buy into him because he's throwing like 180 yards a game and he's still at 25 dropbacks. He should be throwing at least, 240 or something around there.
I think that's keeping the Dolphins.
But their defense has
their
been.
Defense
really
is making plays, scoring them points. Who is this Andrew Van Ginkel guy? He has 2 defensive touchdowns here in the last 3-4 weeks. Like, that defense. Yeah.
I just looked up his picture on NFL.com. Oh my God, hold on. We need to show this.
Share your screen. It's Trevor Lawrence's ugly brother.
It's Tyler without a beard.
Sunshine.
Yeah, it's
My hair's curly.
Ronnie
Bass.
Ronnie Bass.
Oh,
That's Van Ginkel, Mr. Touchdown guy.
Nice.
College guys should know this.
Yeah, Grant just said
I just
Wisconsin.
said Wisconsin
Yeah.
alumni.
um,
God, you
I,
never listen to me, TJ.
Because you fucking don't sound like anything, man. You're
here
so quiet.
I got a crazy scenario here for our next game to throw out to you. That if this next team, Team B, were to beat Team A, they would sweep the season series and be one game behind them for the division lead. Can you tell me this game?
Give me a minute, because I want to look at who's playing next week without looking at records.
Well,
So
I don't want to waste time here, but
I won't. I just want to scan it. Shh.
Is it the Raiders?
bingo. The Raiders at 6-3 play
I
the
was gonna say,
Chiefs.
I was trying to find who Green Bay was playing, honestly.
If
Bold.
Oakland, and this is in Las Vegas too, so Raiders have home field advantage. If the Raiders pull this off, they will sweep the season series from the Chiefs and be one game behind them in division standings.
Like, I love that you're giving me hope right now, but fuck you for that, because this is
I'm
not.
just saying. I'm
It was
just
a
saying.
miracle we beat Kansas City the first time. I will buy into John Gruden after this game if we somehow beat Patrick Mahomes, because yeah, we're 6-3, but like,
It is prime
man,
time too. Keep that in mind. It is Sunday night football,
and
where
it's Derek Carr as our quarterback. It's a
which
loss.
Mahomes does shine in prime time. So I'm. It's a crazy
Mahomes
scenario to think about.
chimes all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah. Patrick
but
Mahomes is just a fucking star.
yeah,
Just
that's
shines
true.
brightly everywhere.
Um, so yeah, that's just something to think about. Another game here to touch on before this. I think is the Jets' best chance to get a win this week.
They're not gonna.
They are playing
They're
the
not gonna get a win.
Chargers.
Chargers are
It's
gonna
their
blow them
best
out.
chance. It's best
Herbert's
Justin
gonna throw
Herbert's
chance.
gonna throw
400 yards,
350, 3 touchdowns.
400 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. Fuck you mean their best chance?
It's their best chance. The Chargers are blow leads faster than the Falcons. It seems now.
Whoa. That was rude. I mean, keep in mind, though, the Chargers, their defense is very similar to me of the Indianapolis Colts when Peyton Manning won that Super Bowl, because without Derwin James, they are nothing. There's nothing going on there. And speaking of Derwin James, I don't know if he's ever going to play in the NFL again. This is 2 catastrophic lower leg injuries in 2 years that he's been gone for. But the Chargers defense is rough. Offensively, they're going to tear the Jets apart, especially with Joe Flacco starting a quarterback. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The last time Joe Flacco played well,
You guys jumped on me. I did not say the Jets would win this game. I said this
don't
is
have a
probably their
chance.
best chance
No,
of the
this is
season
a
to get a
game the
win.
Chargers are going to win this game 31-13.
You're acting like when I say best chance, that means that they have like a
Best
fucking
chance is like
98%
this is going
chance.
to be a close game. This is not going to be a close game.
No, that doesn't mean it's. I mean that.
After this game, you're going to come out of here and be like, we should put Justin Herbert into the Hall of Fame.
No, I'm
hope
trying to say
so
how
bad.
bad
Now,
the
I'm the
Jets
biggest.
are.
I'm the
Nobody
biggest
can hear
Jets
Grant.
fan
We
this
see his
week.
mouth moving. You got to
What'd you
figure out
say, Grant?
the mic.
Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, I can hear you, Grant.
All
Go
right,
ahead. I was talking over you. Go ahead.
So, I don't fucking know what I was gonna say now. God damn it, TJ.
Aww.
Aw.
When I say best chance, I mean like if all their games they had like a 10% chance to win, this game would be their 11% chance. That's what I mean.
All right.
I'm
I'll
not
take
saying they're
that.
going to come out and surprise the world and win this game. I'm just saying if they were to win a game, this would probably
Man,
be the
I would
one.
be so mad. I want the Jets to go 0-16 so bad.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
The fact Adam Gase still has a job. Poof. I don't get it.
All right. Other games that are going on. I think the only
Cardinals
big
Seahawks just happened. So
that
never
just
mind.
happened. I don't know how the
Falcons,
Seahawks pulled that one out.
Packers Colts. Packers are 7-2 going in to play the 6-3 Indianapolis Colts in Indianapolis.
I think it's gonna be just a good defense. I mean, the best scoring defense still, aren't they? Against,
No, Miami.
Oh yeah, you're right. Miami is now.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a good offense against a good defense, and it's just gonna turn into which running back, if not all of them, is just gonna have a day against the Packers defense.
I disagree. I think the Packers
Really?
are going to blow them out. I think the Packers defense is not elite, but it is that like upper mid level. So if it's not top 10, I would put it like 13. It's got pass rushing. If Preston Smith can turn it on at some point, they're going to be dangerous. They've got Tremaine. Who's the corner? It's Tremaine Johnson?
Jair
Jair
Alexander.
Alexander. Yeah. He's good. Like,
He
I
also didn't
Yeah.
play last week.
much coming out of college, but
Yeah.
he has become very good. Phillip Rivers is not good. He had
What,
a good game against
And they're not
bad
going to need him.
defense, and their running game is meh. Their
What
running-
is-
Against the
Packers run
Packers,
defense.
meh
Run
running-
defense is awful.
but
Yeah.
their running backs are not that great. You're talking about Dalvin Cook versus anybody in Indiana. Combine all of them.
Jonathan Taylor's tearing it up right now.
No, he's
Yeah.
not, dude.
No,
No,
That was-
no.
Is
I
he?
will edit that out. No, he is not. Because they refuse to give him the fucking ball anymore. Because it's all going to Naeem Hines.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
not
He's the
doing good.
hot
Yeah.
hand.
oh, that's right. Hyam.
Talk to a very upset fantasy owner of Jonathan Taylor. That's who you're talking to. Yeah.
Oh.
knows. He's seen it.
But yeah, I seen it.
I think the Packers
But
win
no,
this
here's
34-17.
I need to know. I'm not aware of it. Or Grant or Tyler, Jair Alexander and Kevin King, your two corners,
Kevin
did not
King.
play last week. Are they playing
No.
this week?
It's King is a doubtful, I think,
Don't know.
and Alexander's questionable.
I think that will rely heavily on if Rivers can get a passing game going. If those guys miss again, because I think that's what helped Jake Luton have a
Devontae
really good
Adams
game.
is cleared, by the way.
Thank God.
Just look that up.
You know.
He just got cleared about 6 hours ago for his ankle injury.
No, I expect that to be a close game, a good close game, as long as Indy can get their running game going on that Packers defense, regardless of who it's with. Please be Jonathan Taylor.
Jair
But
Alexander looks like he has been he's good to go. He has been
Okay.
taken to the injury report. He had full practices Thursday and today. And then Kevin King is good to go as well. He's had full practices all week. However, looking at the game, Montravius Adams is doubtful. Tyler Irvin is out. Kadar Holman, cornerback, is questionable. Alan Lazard is questionable. Yeah. Will Redmond is questionable. Darius Shepard is questionable. And Equinamius St. Brown is questionable. Everybody else is good to go. Didn't
St.
Alan Lazard
St. Brown's
go
career
out
is
for the
questionable.
season?
What was that, TJ?
Wasn't it Alan Lazard being out for the season?
No.
No,
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 Who is
he
the
was
wide
a-
receiver that
was-
went out for the season?
he was out for indefinitely. They didn't
it's
really
like
have a
multiple weeks.
a timetable because
Because I know they have 3 different injured reserves. I think it's like 3 weeks, 8 weeks, and a whole season.
Yeah. So just we'll blitz through the last couple games here. Just tell me who you think it will win. Patriots at the Texans this week. Who you guys got there? No big deal.
I
Texans.
don't know why. I'm just going with it, yes.
I think the Patriots win good games, but I think this is one of the ones that Texans can win, and they're gonna.
I'm gonna go Patriots on this one, honestly. Houston's allowed the most rushing yards a game this year. I think if they stick to an RPO offense, I think New England wins that game. Eagles, Browns, we touched on that. Lions are at the Panthers this week.
Panthers.
I actually think this could
Yeah.
be a sneaky good game.
It could.
It's gonna be a good game. But I think
Carolina is on a
Panthers-
5-game skid, by the way. They're 3-7 after starting 3-2.
Isn't McCaffrey out?
McCaffrey is still out, so it's back to Mike
You know what?
Davis.
I'm gonna give Stafford a game here.
Yeah,
I'm
I
still
would.
gonna stick with Panthers.
I would take the Lions.
I'm going to go Lions as well.
Yeah, the Lions have been playing some decent football right
I'm
now.
gonna flip flop. I'm gonna go to the Panthers because I forgot Matthew Stafford has a tear in his thumb, his throwing
Yeah.
hand.
All right, Cowboys go to the Vikings. This should be an easy one. I'm going to take Minnesota.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's back this week though.
Okay, Dalvin Cook is still going to run all over that trash fucking
Yeah.
defense. So,
Wow, that's-
I'm going to actually go Cowboys on that one.
yeah. What?
Just because I'm not gonna fucking pick the Vikings.
Alright.
over-
You
over
realize
the
that Mike
Vikings.
McCarthy in Green Bay passed the ball 62% of the time. In Dallas with Ezekiel fucking Elliott, he's passing it 73% of the time to start on first down. No. Vikings. Fuck your clock.
All
right.
I'm not gonna pick
Bengals
Fuck the Vikings.
traveling to Washington to take on the football team.
Joe Burrow gets a win.
Yep.
Washington.
Bengals.
I think the Bengals will if Alex Smith can throw for 400 yards again, but actually manage to get a couple touchdowns out of that. Washington might have a chance, but I'm going to go Bengals here too.
I'm going Washington.
Just
Get you in here.
Falcons Saints.
Yep, and Falcons Saints will wrap it up here. Falcons are at New Orleans.
No. Oh no.
No Drew Brees. It's Jameis Winston under center this
No,
week.
it's not.
No, it's not.
No,
it's
Taysom
Taysom Hill.
They are
which
going with
I
Taysom
think-
Hill.
Yeah,
Okay,
so I'm gonna go big
It's,
old Matt Ryan in this one and give it to the Falcons.
I
Dude,
think so too.
Honestly, I think
I'm
that's
going
just
Saints.
bullshit. He's not gonna be. It's gonna be Jameis. I think.
Yeah.
I seriously think this is.
They
all
just said
bullshit.
Taysom Hill is starting.
Okay,
Yeah, I know,
is he
they said
finishing that
that-
game
that-
though?
Oh,
And it
is
doesn't
he?
matter. He's gonna
Yeah.
start. I've been
gonna
seeing stuff
try.
that he. Well, I've been seeing
Oh,
stuff
he's
that he has-
trying.
Oh, he's trying.
Oh, that's trademark.
Is it?
I don't know.
It's words. It's only
We
words.
can have our 11 cents.
Yeah. All right. So it is time for a third installment of Where Did He Come From? A weekly trivia. Grant won last week, so he
Grant
chose position.
dominated
Yeah.
last week.
Grant chose quarterback to stick with quarterback.
So
That
who
means
cheated last week? I want to know.
Nobody.
Not me.
Oh,
Nobody. So Grant chose to stay with the quarterback position, but we're going to jump over to the AFC South this week. So I would expect this one to be a little tougher. So, but again, for the current players, I'm not necessarily sticking with starters because this is a one person position. So, AFC South, we'll start off with the Titans. Ryan Tannehill.
Texas A&M.
I had no idea.
it's Texas A&M.
Yeah.
That is correct. Texas A&M.
Oh, did you find that on your computer there, you cheater?
How the fuck was I cheating? I made no movement at all. I just stared into my camera angrily.
All right.
Why am I want to know why I'm being accused of cheating. Is because y'all are bitches and mad I lost or I won?
Because you're bald.
I don't know why AJ raves about this because it's not pleasant to have this kind of
I'm
weather.
gonna insert a picture right here that TJ looks like Sheev from the Dukes of Hazzard. And if you don't believe me, here's that picture.
I've had 4 people outside of this already mention it.
Thank you.
I went upstairs and Caitlin showed me a picture of him and goes, "It's you," and I was like, "Go fuck yourself."
Perfect. All right.
Nice.
We'll go over to the Colts here. Phillip Rivers.
Shit,
I would
it
assume
wasn't a
some
big
Mormon
name
school because
college.
he has so many kids.
What did you say?
I'm gonna say
Some
BYU.
Mormon-
It's not
BYU.
BYU. They have white jerseys and red helmets.
Yeah, a lot of schools do.
Yeah, but not like this.
Did you go to Rutgers?
No.
We did a conference or
You guys want the conference?
Yeah, give me the conference.
ACC.
Fuck. North Carolina State.
that's what I was just about to say was North Carolina State.
Okay. Tyler, are you going to stick with
I-
BYU and Rutgers?
Yeah, because I'm not gonna make another pick.
Technically, Rutgers was in the ACC.
I know.
Yes,
that's
he
why I'm
was.
debating
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's
It was
true.
not-
So I'm sticking with Rutgers.
It was either
Okay.
North Carolina State or Maryland, and I'm going with North Carolina State.
All right. Tyler, you should have stuck with BYU because that would have also been wrong. It is NC State.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay. Now we're going to get into a couple tough ones here. Gardner for the Jaguars. Gardner Minshew.
Washington State.
It's Washington State.
Yeah.
Okay.
it
Tyler,
was
finally.
USC, sucker.
No, it is Washington State out of the Pac-12. Gardner Minshew. He did start. He was at another. He transferred to Washington State.
Hold on. Yeah, he did start somewhere. He did go somewhere else first. and
Yeah.
then he left. Didn't he leave
transferred
because he wasn't being given like starting opportunities already?
Yeah, he had a better opportunity at Washington State, and clearly got him drafted. So
East Carolina.
East Carolina. That's right. Yeah.
Mm.
So, all right, wrapping off current players with who's the only other team? The Texans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Josh McCown.
Oh, fuck you. I was about to scream Clemson so loud. Oh, shit. Oh, no.
Josh McCown.
Josh McCown.
He didn't go to college. He was just
He
born
was
a backup.
hatched into the NFL.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Do you need
Can I
a
get a
conference?
conference.
Southland Conference.
Fuck.
I know this
have no
because
idea.
I had a bunch of rookie cards of him. I'm sure none of you could even tell me a team in the Southland Conference because I didn't even know. This
Can
was
we
a
just get
conference.
No,
what
there's
state it's
only
in?
one I can think of, and I just don't know if it's because I know who he went to college for, or if it's because it's the only team I know in that conference.
What you got, TJ? Because I don't think
I
Tyler.
want to say
gonna have a,
last. I don't
What?
want to embarrass myself.
Tyler
No,
doesn't
none
have
of us have a
anybody.
guess. No.
What do you got,
Grant?
Grant?
Not even gonna
I
throw out a
have
guess.
no fucking idea.
Okay.
Sam Houston?
Good job. It is Sam
What?
Houston
Oh
State.
my god,
Yeah.
nice.
When you said Clemson, I wondered if you were onto something. If you knew the orange jerseys.
So I was gonna shout Clemson because of Deshaun Watson, and I was
Yeah.
like, and then it was like, wait, I distinctly remember orange something on Josh McCown in college, and then I was like
Mhm.
Tennessee, and then you were like Southern Conference, and I was like, oh, not Tennessee.
Sam Houston State. Yes. All right.
Jesus.
Now let's go into the legends. These might be a little tougher.
Uh-oh.
Tennessee we'll start off again with the
Steve McNair.
late great Steve McNair.
No.
Conference.
SWAC, SWAC, Southwestern
Fuck.
Athletic Conference, I believe.
Albuquerque?
Alabama State? I
Yep,
know that
in the
doesn't sound like-
Southwest Conference.
No,
Definitely
no,
Alabama
but I
State.
swear to God, that's like where the swag is. I swear to God.
New Mexico State.
All right, none of you got it. You guys are onto something with the Al. It's the lowly, less known Alcorn State.
Shit,
Oh, damn. That's
I
where
didn't know
the-
that.
He.
I thought for some reason I thought Alcorn State was by Appalachia. I don't
That's
know
what I
why.
thought too, but they're part of the SWAC, so yeah. All right.
Yeah, but really, like college conferences geographically don't mean
Don't
as-
make sense. Fuck
Yeah.
Well,
no.
I can tell you as sure as
Right.
fuck the Southwest Conference isn't going to have Alabama in
No,
it.
Alabama. I swear to God. Like, let me look it up. Boom. Suck my fucking ass.
Is Alabama State actually in the Southwest?
Yep, they're part of the SWAC. Yeah.
Alabama is in the Southwestern half point. Give me it.
Well, they're
No,
part
you
of
got
it.
the fucking college wrong.
You got it wrong. No, you don't get a point.
You know what? You know what? Next, you know what? For that ACC question, I want a half point because I can also name Duke and North Carolina.
Yeah. All right. Moving on here. The Colts. No, not the Colts.
Peyton
Well,
Manning,
yeah,
Tennessee.
Colts. Peyton Manning. Yes, this should be an
Tennessee.
easy one.
Got you.
Damn it. Tennessee.
Tyler, go with something
No.
else. You're not going to win
Every-
anyways.
Everybody's
I was
got
like,
it right.
fuck you,
Tennessee.
TJ.
I had to choose him. I couldn't. I mean, Andrew Luck would have
You
been
could
easy.
have gone
if you
Johnny
would've-
Unitas. And Andrew Luck would have been Stanford. And Johnny
Yeah,
Unitas
could have.
went to
Army?
where?
Maybe.
Like
I'm gonna Google it. Hold on, I have to bring it up.
I think it's Army or
Tyler-
Pitt. God, I want to say Pitt.
I spelled college wrong 4 times. It's University of Louisville,
Louisville. Okay.
oh really?
which would not have been a guess even if you
Nope.
named the conference. I would have not guessed that.
Dude, that means Lamar Jackson was breaking Johnny Unitas records probably when he was going to school there.
Interesting.
Well, see the thing is back when Johnny Unitas played football, it wasn't really a passing thing.
That's true.
Oh,
Yeah.
those records been broke, son.
All right. 2 more here. All right. Byron Leftwich from the Jags.
Colorado?
Nope.
Damn it.
Conference.
Conference is
Yeah.
CUSA, Conference USA.
Nah. See, my first guess was Baylor, but it's not Baylor.
Tulsa?
What
Or
was
do
the
I not know?
conference?
Conference USA.
Marshall,
Tyler?
right?
I was gonna say
Right?
Marshall.
Yeah, you're
All
right.
right,
It's fucking
it is
Marshall.
Marshall.
God damn it.
The only
Yes.
reason I got that is because there was the one video
Where
that
his
was the only thing
lineman-
you remember out of Byron Leftwich's entire football career.
His
You
lineman
know he's a
carrying
coach
down
now.
the field.
Yeah, with
Quarterback's
his
coach,
lineman
Pittsburgh.
carrying him down the field, and he had a green jersey on. That's why I was like Baylor.
But that was Marshall. He's part of Thundering Herd. And I think you guys can get this one. For the Texans, they really haven't had any legendary quarterbacks. So let's go with their first ever quarterback, David Carr.
Fresno State.
Was it Fresno?
Was it
State?
Fresno
I thought
State?
it
Yeah,
was
it
Derek.
was the same as his brother.
Seems to be a consensus. Yep, Fresno State.
Yeah.
So
Fresno.
yeah. TJ, I think you got all but 1, 2.
Which two did I get wrong?
No, you got all but 1 because you got Josh McCown. So
Oh, and I didn't get C.
That's
McNair.
unreal.
so TJ knows this shit. I'm gonna have to make it tougher next week. Do you want to pick conference or position?
What we did AFC West, right?
Yes.
'Cause
We
I
did
think I
AFC
went
West for
AFC West.
quarterbacks.
We started in NFC North.
Mhm.
Let's go quarterbacks again.
Do quarterbacks again. So my
Yeah.
pick in conference. Okay.
Yeah, you
All right.
can conference.
So I will pick the conference next week then. Any other sports notes we should touch on?
Lewis Hamilton, 7-time world champion. Matt
Really?
Schumacher.
Who the fuck's that?
That's insane. It was
Lewis
honestly Lewis Hamilton.
You the guy that play is based off of?
Yes, that's exactly who it is. It was insane. We'll talk about it some other time. Fuck you guys.
That is awesome.
That's my goal, is to make him upset every time he talks about F1. But no, like that was something like I noticed too, is Lewis Hamilton had won the 7th championship because it was on ESPN, and it's the only time I pay attention to it. But I guess we can touch on UFC news. There hasn't been really any impressive fights to me. The most recent one, Anderson Silva getting knocked out again. I think in his last 5 fights, 4 of them have been knockouts to Uriah Hall, and he had 1 fight left on his contract with UFC, and then UFC cut him, and Bellator has already said they do not want him around. So you're talking about one of the all-time greatest mixed martial artists in history. Nobody wants to touch,
It's
which
time
it's
to hang it up.
understandable. He's old and he's been knocked out a lot. Nobody wants to be the one that killed Anderson Silva.
Right. Unfortunately, he's got to know that now's the time to walk away. Like become a coach, become a trainer, become an analyst. It's your fighting days are over, dude. And he will go
His
down
English
as
is not that good to be a analyst, but for like the Brazilian networks, maybe.
Yeah, easily. But yeah, like he will go down as one of the greats of all time. So that legacy is not in question at all. I think it's time for him to hang it up. Also, Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier, that fight has been finalized pretty much, correct?
Yeah, Conor McGregor just signed his contract for the fight.
Yep. So that's coming down. Also, Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. coming up here in a few
Yeah.
weeks.
Mike Tyson's gonna beat that man's
He
ass.
is gonna.
I cannot
He
wait.
looks angry.
Yeah.
He looks angrier now than in his fight with Lennox Lewis.
I can't
He
wait.
did not look good.
Roy
But-
Jones is gonna die. Just put it that way. So
It's not going to be that close. It's going to be a good
Yeah.
fight. I don't think it's going to be the slaughter everyone thinks it is, because Tyson's a bad man. But like, I remember his last fight with Lennox Lewis, which is the last fight I think he fought in professionally, and he looked bad, like bad.
yeah.
No, I mean Lennox Lewis is a much different fighter than Roy Jones. He's taller, much longer reach, but Tyson hasn't been good at boxing in a while. He's just much more dangerous than your standard old man. So,
one thing that we should probably hint on, just to give some congratulations, baseball, it's been their award season since we last recorded. So all the
the
awards have
Milwaukee
come out.
Brewers.
They did. They had Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the year.
Was it Rookie of the Year or was it Reliever of the Year?
Rookie of the
Rookie.
Year. 2 of the reliever.
Devin Williams.
Devin Williams. American League Rookie of the Year went to Seattle Mariners, Kyle Lewis. And then Cy Young winners, National League was Trevor Bauer, first Cincinnati Reds player or pitcher to ever win that award. And then Cleveland Indians, not Justin Bieber, Shane Bieber won it. So all Ohio Cy Young winners there. And then the big boys, the MVPs, National League was Freddie Freeman, and the Chicago White Sox got Jose Abreu in the AL. And
Who
then
has now gotten busted for? Was it him that got No,
No,
that
it
was
was
Robinson
Robinson.
Cano.
That was Cano.
Cano is gone for all of next
Fucking
year for
shocker.
steroids. Yeah, shocker, right?
I called that like 4 seasons ago. I was like, that dude is using bad.
Yep. And then the last big award, Manager of the Year, Kevin Cash from the Rays won in the AL, and then Don Mattingly of the Marlins won in the NL. And just to touch on, I know I had mentioned it a few episodes back, the White Sox were looking for a new manager. They did end up hiring
Didn't
Tony
they
La
sign
Russa.
Captain
Yeah.
America?
They
Tony La
hired
Russa.
Tony La Russa, who the day before they signed him was arrested for his second DUI. So
Atta
bravo,
boy.
White Sox.
Get him, Tony.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear the like transcript or whatever of the like arrest or whatever?
I'm sorry, but
Listen,
Tony
there's,
La
like,
Russa
on-
looks like a skeleton somebody draped a flesh suit over. He doesn't even look
Yeah.
human anymore.
He got, I don't know what the White Sox, they had come out and said we are going to hire somebody that's young and has recent playoff championship experience. And then you go hire this old fucker. Like, he got the friends and family discount because he's in close.
They hired him
Jerry
because the owners
Reinsdorf.
want to get that senior discounted like
Probably. I don't know what they're thinking. Don't get me wrong, he's a good
He's a
manager.
good manager, we think.
But
We
yeah,
hope. He might
at
be
this
scammed.
point, you know, I don't know. And that's a team that needs some good leadership. I just don't
We are
think
talking
he's
about a
gonna
guy
mesh.
here that won like 300 world championships in St. Louis. I don't think it's a bad move, but yeah, they definitely, this is a short-term hire, I think, because I don't know how much Tony La Russa said he was getting too old for this 10 years ago, and now we're talking he's older. I don't know how long of a hire he's going to be.
My thing with it is that this is such a young team. Is somebody of his age and coached in the generation he did, can he, you know, mesh with this team? Can he relate to these guys? Can he coach them the way that they need to be coached?
Here's
Is
the
that
thing,
gonna
too,
happen?
is that you're talking about 10 years ago when people were watching baseball, when these guys were kids.
Mhm.
They were watching Tony La Russa win world championships, World Series.
Yeah.
So this is a guy when they were kids and still finding their love of baseball that they were watching manage World Series teams. So I think that level of respect is going to be there.
Oh
I think
yeah.
that level of listening to him is going to be there. But as these guys started to become huge baseball stars, Tony La Russa was mentioned nowhere.
Mhm.
So really, it comes down to which one did they pay attention to? Why are we bringing in this old guy that I've never heard about come in to manage? Or, you know, hey, look, it's this guy that I watched win World Series when I was a kid coming in to coach my team. It's like a movie.
Yeah. So I
It's
really
like they
hope he
replaced
gets. I really hope he can get the best out of him, because I think this is a team that's primed for a championship run. You know, here in the next, you know, anywhere 2 to 5 years, they have the talent there. The time's now for the White Sox.
Also, baseball news: Theo Epstein.
Yes, and that was my next point. Theo Epstein did step down. Theo Epstein's probably not going to coach or take over
Go
any
back to
teams anymore.
Boston.
No.
No, we want him back.
But Jed Hoyer did take over for the Cubs, so they are still in good hands. And Theo stayed true to himself. He talks about he doesn't like to stay more than 10 years in a place. He thinks, you know, it's overstays his welcome, and that's the shelf life for a GM in his eyes. So as a Cubs fan, with my biggest thank you to him, you came here to do what you were brought here to do, and you did it. And no regrets at all. I wish him the best. He
I'm
brought
still
us.
salty he left Boston.
He brought you 2 championships. You
Yeah,
should
we
be
could have
thanking him
had
too.
6. Come back.
No, he brought the Cubs their first World Series in
I need
108
Stilton
years.
Lester.
That's all he needed to do, and he did it. Happy trails. You know, he's 41, right? 41. and he's turned
Got
2
4 World
franchises
Series,
in
5 World
yeah,
Series.
3.
No, he won 2 in Boston. Didn't he win
Yeah,
2 in
And
Chicago?
one,
One in
Chicago. No,
Chicago.
one in
Oh,
Chicago.
Yeah. 3 world championships
Baseball
and
ain't my shit,
2
though.
franchises that were cursed. He turned them
Yeah.
around. Like, this dude
He's
is
the
a
miracle man. You know who
legend.
should go sign him? The
The
fucking
Bears.
Padres.
The Bears.
Yeah. It would make as much sense as hiring Ryan Pace.
Yeah. Give him a shot, you know.
I think the Padres should go after him. I think he loves the idea of going after like tough teams to win. So
Yeah.
I think he should, go like the Mariners are a good team that could use him. Padres. I'm trying to think of who else has not won a World Series in forever.
Marlins.
The Brewers. The Marlins.
Marlins.
Yeah.
Although, speaking of the Marlins, I don't know if you guys saw it, but we did post it on the Facebook page. They hired the first professional in all of professional sports, the first ever female general manager.
That's right. Yeah.
Kim Eng, I think is her
Yeah,
name.
Kim Eng. Yep.
So, and not just first female, but first Asian American GM, I believe.
Yep.
So big ups to them. 2 of their COO also is a female too. So big props to Derek Jeter and his guys down there for being, not afraid to, break barriers down there. So it's good to see.
Oh yeah.
Any other news? I think Tyler, there's some breaking NBA news here before we sign off.
Yes, breaking news. 6th man of the year, Montrezl Harrell. Is
God
being-
damn it. Montrez. I was hoping you would get that fucking right.
What did he
No,
say earlier? Montrezl?
Montrezl, and he just said it again.
That's
I did it on purpose. It's funny. I like it.
Oh, sure you did. Sure you
It's a
did.
joke. It's
You
one of those
Big
jokes.
dumb idiot.
No, but he just signed on with the Lakers. So
They are getting
the
fucking
Lakers
everybody.
have signed on Schroeder,
Wes
Wes
Matthews, Dennis
Matthews,
Schroeder. Yeah.
Harrell. I mean, they're coming
they
back for
know-
a repeat.
Do they know they can only have like 15 guys on that team? Because it seems like they have like fucking 34 right now.
But yeah,
So,
that's breaking news in the NBA.
Yeah, that's fuck. He was probably the next big high profile free agent, and yeah, he ain't got to go far.
2 years, 19 million.
Wow, that's all he signed for. Whew,
He wants that title.
shit. I don't blame him, but
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully he goes there and wins a ring, and then he can go get his money. Because I think he played well enough this year and the last year to go get paid from somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, knowing that, I think the Bucks would have been a good destination for him.
I would have
honestly.
loved him on the Bucks.
Oh, by
Yeah.
the way, you had mentioned Derek Jeter briefly. I do want to say this is the year he is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Rightfully so.
Good
They
deal.
they were. There's one other note because they were talking about that on the
He had
radio the other day.
99.7% of the vote on his first ballot.
Who the fuck didn't vote for him?
I don't know, but they should be shocked.
God, that's got to be a Red Sox fan. Got to be one of the Red Sox writers. It's-
Because I would not have voted for him either. I'd have been like, fuck Derek Jeter.
Just one little last thing about Hall of Fame voting. Was Mark Burley's
Yes.
first time on a ballot this year.
He should not.
And-
have been.
I don't know. Is he Hall of Fame worthy or is
No.
he Hall of Very Good?
No, he's not Hall of Fame worthy. I don't think.
All
he-
very good.
I'll look up his stats.
Two
I,
no-
wouldn't even
I
put him
mean,
in the
just
Hall
off the
Very
top of
Good.
my head, 2 no-hitters
Yep.
and a World Series championship. I cannot recall if he won a Cy
So-
Young at all.
So he was a 5-time All-Star.
5-time
He was
All-Star.
a 2005 World Series champion,
Mhm.
4-time Golden Glove Award as a pitcher. He pitched a perfect game on July 23rd, 2009. He pitched a no-hitter on April 18th, 2007, so 2 years before. His number is retired. He was 214 wins, 160 losses, which it's
Yeah.
not that good. His ERA was 2.81, not that good. And he had 1,870 strikeouts. I don't put him in there. I put him at the same level of, well, maybe a little bit better, but I don't think I put him in the Hall of Fame. I don't even think on his 10th or 15th ballot we put him in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, I might be a little biased being, a Chicago sports
course.
fan. I do think he has done enough to earn, he was one of the best athletes in Chicago for the 15 years he was there. And, those accomplishments are very impressive. I think it just depends on, who he goes up against on certain ballots. But I can,
I mean, it is possible, but if you look just stat wise, and if you look at Burley as a pitcher, there was never a point in baseball where he was the best pitcher in the major.
right.
He
The
never won a
no,
Cy Young Award.
yep,
He never was he was a good ace. He was on the upper, I would say middle of the pack ace for a team, but he was never one of the top 5 pitchers in baseball.
yep,
His ERA was almost 4.0, and we're talking in an era where you're seeing guys 2 point something and winning Cy Youngs. I don't think he gets in.
yeah.
I think he definitely is a first ballot Chicago White Sox Hall of Famer. He played 11
Oh,
seasons
yeah.
there. But I don't see him getting into the Hall.
You can't be upset either way. We'll just put
Yeah.
it that way.
Yeah. You're super happy if he gets in,
Mhm.
unless you're one of those purist voters. But he shouldn't be in there. It's in my opinion, he's the Terrell Owens of this with less drama. He has that ability where you could say, yeah, maybe he goes into the Hall, but I don't think Terrell should be in the Hall based on stats. You take him out because he's a shithead. So,
All right. Well, I think we should wrap it up on that note. We've been going here for quite a while. So hope you guys enjoy the new structure here of the episodes. Also, thanks for all the support on the platforms we are out on. Thanks for checking us out on YouTube. Drop a like and hit subscribe there. Also, we're on the podcasting platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You guys know the other ones. Shoot, what are they?
Google,
Google.
Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Podcast Republic, all of them except for Stitcher because Stitcher sucks.
Yeah. What the hell, Stitcher? Nobody uses you anyway. But no, we appreciate all the likes and listens. As always, you can hit us up, fatguysportstalk@gmail.com, or through our Facebook page. Just search Fat Guy Sports Talk. And we'd be happy to interact with y'all. So that being said, hope you enjoyed the episode. We will check you out next week. I'm Aaron.
I'm
Tyler.
I'm TJ.
I'm Grant.
All right. And we will see you all next week. Take her easy.